The reason Clemson is going to beat Georgia is because Trevor Lawrence had to sit down last year. DJU gets meaningful snaps against Notre Dame and otherwise because Trevor Lawrence is sitting down. And if he doesn't get that, now you're putting a kid in there who's got a lot of hype around him. Oh, Clemson's going to be fine without Trevor Lawrence because of this kid. But he would be an unknown. Now we know what DJU is, and so more importantly, so does DJU know that he can thrive at this level, right? So I'm taking Clemson because of that. How say you?
I am still taking Georgia because Georgia is loaded on defense, and I also think this is as dynamic as Georgia's been on offense in a while with JT Daniels at quarterback, a former five-star who started his freshman year at USC. Clemson, Georgia, you talk about the consequences for the loser. I actually think there are consequences for Clemson if they lose. The consequences for Georgia are really not that bad because
I agree.
If Georgia wins
now we've come around, Staples, and now we're parking our cars in the same garage. I think that Kirk, I'm going to name drop here. Kirk Herbstreit swung me around on that one. As I was talking to him about it, Sal and I, on Extra Points last week, I was under Georgia is really in a tough spot here because if they lose this one, that dashes their Final Four hopes.
They're fine.
The opposite is true, correct?
Yes. If Clemson loses, it becomes quite a bit more difficult for them, especially if Georgia keeps winning.
And Bama
Georgia
whips
loses.
Miami. If Bama whips Miami, then it knocks down the ACC. And now you're left with North Carolina.
North Carolina is probably the only other hope of the ACC this year. And look, if it comes down to Clemson and North Carolina and they're both undefeated or one's undefeated and one's one loss, there's a real good chance the winner of that gets in. But what happens if, let's say Clemson loses this game, doesn't lose again? Georgia doesn't lose again until the SEC championship game when they lose to a one-loss or an undefeated Alabama or Texas A&M or whoever that is. Well, that's the recipe for two SEC teams in the playoff and Clemson going to a bowl game it doesn't want to go to.